Hello, welcome back. Fishwife here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the in-game options. So here on your paper doll, you have the options button. So I'm not going to go too in-depth with these things. It's probably best for you to explore them yourself. But I'll just kind of go through each one to kind of explain what they are. So up here, so the trumpet is the sound and music. So obviously you can adjust these as you see fit. Sound up, down, music on, off, footstep sound. And now we have a server save that happens every couple times an hour. I like the footstep sounds because I just nostalgia reason, but you know obviously feel free to turn those off and adjust the music as you see fit. Some of these options you may just never touch, but it's just important to feel familiar with them so you can adjust the game how and customize it how you want to. So pop-up help. This is largely unnecessary. You're just changing the font and whether or not you want tooltips on and off. So you can just click that as soon as you feel good enough that you don't want the tooltips. Just uncheck that box. Chat, you can change the text color of just about any chat in the game. The way that works in this game, chatting with other players, you just type in whatever you want to say, hit enter, and it'll pop up above your head. So you can change the chat right there. Here, this is macro options. I'm going to explain what macros are in a future video, so we're just going to leave that for now. This is the interface. This is all the interface options in the game. You just check or uncheck depending on how you want it. The one thing that I will suggest that you do change right off the bat is this right here. So enable pathfinding with double right click. So that's going to be checked. I suggest you just uncheck that. Now what that does is if it's checked and you double click somewhere on the screen, your character will just automatically run there. So that can be very awkward in certain combat situations. So I suggest you just go ahead and uncheck that. Yeah, so that's basically the only thing that you need to do there. Display. Another thing that you might want to consider in the interface is hold down tab key for combat instead of tapping it to toggle combat mode. I suggest you uncheck that. It just makes it easier. And we'll talk about combat in a future one, but one of the automatic hotkeys is you just hit tab to go in and out of from war mode to peace mode, which that'll make sense in the future video. But by unchecking that, you just hit the button versus holding it down. So that makes things a little bit easier. Display. So if you talk to a lot of people in-game, you may want to adjust how long the speech remains on the screen. Sometimes it goes by rather quick. If you're having long conversations with people in-game, it may just be easier to keep that up there. So reputation system, we'll go into the reputation system a little bit more, so just leave that the way it is, and that'll just make things a lot easier. The other thing that I suggest you change is here in miscellaneous, so this is just like everything else, is the set radius of transparency circle. And so let me show you what that is. So when I come behind this wall, I can kind of see behind the wall, like it becomes transparent, and that's because of what my radius transparency circle is set to. So as I increase my radius transparency circle, you can see how that increased around my character. And if I decrease it, you can see how the wall is now totally solid. So I usually keep it somewhere in between. I think I had it, in the 130s. So let me see if there's any objects on the floor behind the wall, or any benches, or even other players sometimes. So that's another thing that I suggest that you change. And then filter options. So if you're setting this up for a child or a friend, or you just don't like swear words, you can filter obscenities from other players out through this window. All right, so that's the in-game options menu, and we're going to go through some other things left here on the paper doll in the next video. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in a second.